Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley Marie, and I'm here to talk about patho and how I'm passed with a 92. I know it's been a while. I said I was going to post this about 2 months ago, but life was lifing, and you know, I just had to kind of gather myself. Thank you for all the new followers. I do appreciate it. Everybody that followed me, some people that were like, we're waiting on your video. I appreciate the push because I definitely was not in the right space to make a video, and it's like, dang, I don't want to just leave you guys hanging. And I definitely want to give you this information about patho because everybody knows patho is one of those classes. It can make or break you. It could delay you or it could push you. So I just want to give you guys some advice on how I studied and what I did for patho. This is just going to be a video strictly about patho. I'm going to make a two-part video, so the next video is going to be about health assessment because I did take health assessment with patho, but I took health assessment 1 and then I also just finished up with health assessment 2. So the next video is going to be all about health assessment and also fundamental skills. So let's get into it. Okay, so in patho, I got my, if I look down, I got my computer right here. So, because patho was like 2 months ago and it's kind of fuzzy. So in patho, we had 2 exams and then we also had a comprehensive final. We also had 5 quizzes and we had an RUA paper. Yes, RUA paper. So, let's see. Okay, so one thing I would say about patho, it is you really do have to pay attention to details. So you have to pay attention. You are going to have to read your book. My teacher, I had a great teacher. She literally spilled it out. She gave us what we needed. I feel like she gave us a lot more than what we needed, but she gave us what we needed. So let me tell you how I did it. So we have this book. You can see I'm tabbed up. We use this book for patho. So it's I can't even pronounce the first word. So Pathophysiology for the health profession. All right, I got organized day 1. I got a binder. I photocopied the front of the book and I got me some tabs. I don't know if you can see it. I made tabs. So I got a tab for concept maps. So I have a tab for concept maps. I have a tab for class notes. And then just any extra paperwork I had. So I made my own concept maps. I can't say, some people used it and it was really helpful for them. For me, it wasn't. I learned in a different way, but this was my concept map. Let's see. Yeah, this was my concept map. So I had the pathophysiology. The disease was in the middle. I had the etiology, diagnostic testing and signs and symptoms. Like I said, I used this, but that was not my main source. What was my main source is I showed up to class every day. I was early. I sat in the same seat. I showed up to class every day and I took notes. At first, I figured out that I wasn't a handwriter. Like, I didn't like handwriting my notes in class because my hand would cramp up in like health and wellness. So I typed all my notes and I'm gonna show you guys what I did for each exam. These are my notes. I'm gonna pull them out for you guys. Okay, so before I give you my recipe, I'm gonna just give you guys what I got on my first exam. I'm gonna post it somewhere right here. On my first exam, I got a 138 out of 150. So I think that was like a 92 divided by 150. I got a 92 out the exam. So for my first exam, let me find it. I wrote out all my notes. These are my notes. Ooh, focus. All right. So everything this is just notes. These are my class notes. Okay. Everything the teacher said, I wrote it out. Like I typed it. I typed it. I put, okay, she's talking about immunity. That's the head. I put actions of defense, non-specific defense, and adapted specific defense. I wrote it down. I highlighted it. Well, I just typed it all out. I made sure I typed everything out. Everything she said. I'm a fast typewriter. So if you're a fast typewriter, I do recommend you doing that. And I will get to why I say to type your notes, your class notes. So I wrote everything out. And then once I wrote everything out and it was time for me to like get down and like get to studying for my exam that was coming up, I will go in this book and I will find everything the teacher was talking about on the topics, like immunity. I went to that chapter. I read everything she said. Like, when I mean what she said, I was like, okay, I read the whole chapter for my first exam. I read the whole chapter for my first exam, but I made sure I really understood the topics that my teacher talked about in class. It's a reason why your teacher is talking about that topic, and you should definitely know the ins and out of that topic. I will say the main things you need to know about it is how it happens. The signs and symptoms are very important. Very important. How it happens, pathophysiology of it. Where's my concept map? Everything on my concept map, that's what you need to know. And the signs and symptoms are very important. Know your signs and symptoms, okay? Know what's happening and what, you need to know what's happening. And why am I pulling it out? Sorry. I got a lot going on, y'all. Sorry. Know the signs and symptoms and what's happening. Like for anaphylaxis, which is like an allergy, I put general itching and tingling, coughing, difficulty breathing because your throat's closing up, weakness, dizziness, edema, hives, and all that great stuff. Right, I wrote it out like this, but for me, like I said, I didn't pull from that. I pulled from, like, I would literally go through my notes. If you can see, I am a color person, so I have to color it, and that helps me when I take my test because I can visually see my paper when I'm taking my test, when I'm trying to recall. See, I wrote my little side notes on the side, anything extra I needed to know, and I highlighted it. I did that for every topic that the teacher wrote. I literally wrote everything down. She said, let me show you. Everything she said. These are my notes. Notes. That's why I say you need to go to class. Missing a day of class is very detrimental to you. It is only going to hurt you. Like, I know sometimes I felt like, dang, I don't want to go to class. I'm so tired. Class is so long. But I knew if I didn't go to class, I wasn't going to be able to write my notes. And nobody can write your notes like you can write your notes. So show up to class. This was my main thing that I did for my first exam to pass. I literally sat for 4 days straight, from 8 o'clock to maybe 1 in the morning. I just like, it wasn't just I was sitting there all day, because I do have a son, but I literally, my desk was my home for the last 2 months when I took Patho. I utilized, we have VCast, so they do weekly reviews on which are the topics that you covered in class, well, the concepts that you covered in class, and they also do an exam review, and I attended all those exam reviews. That's what I did for the first exam. For the second exam, I really didn't use my book as much, and I'm not saying don't use your book, because you do need your book, but I learned ChatGPT. This is when I discovered chat, and let me tell you, chat did wonders. This is why I say it's good to, you can write your notes and then go home and type it, but I feel like if you type your notes, you can just drop your notes right into chat, and I'll probably do a video to show you how I do it. Put your notes into chat. Hey chat, NCLEX-style questions on the topics in this document. Or you can just write it out. These topics, immunity. What else? Yeah, look, I'm not even gonna let my brains off at this point. But any topic that you want, if you're talking about the kidney, if you're talking about what is it called, pulmonary embolisms, put it in chat. And if you want to go even further, you can also drop your textbook that you use into chat. Please create me NCLEX-style questions. Randomize the answers. Do not create a pattern. Do not give me the answers. And it will literally give you test questions, and you can run through those questions. I literally ran through almost 300 questions before my exam 2. And I made let's do the calcs. I made a 37 out of 150 on my second exam. And that was a 91. I made a 91 on my second exam because I used chat. The only reason why I did not read my book thoroughly, I read it, but it wasn't enough information that it was giving me. I felt like I was missing something, and I felt like between my teacher's notes gave me more information than the book. So then I just decided to run through questions on ChatGPT, and then I also, once I finished the questions and I answered them, I asked them to give me the rationales. You need to read the rationales. You need to read the rationales for the answers that are wrong, so you know why they're wrong, and then you need to read them for the answers that are right, so you know exactly why it's right. And that will help you, so when you go on the test into the exam and you see a question or you see an answer and you're like, maybe that's the answer, you kind of remember what chat told you why that answer wasn't right in some kind of way. Like, for me, Patho was extremely easy. Some people it was not as easy, but for me it just came easy. But I don't know, because health assessment was a little challenging for me. But Patho, that's what I did. Like, it was no secret sauce. It was no nothing. Like, I literally, this is proof. This is me running through the questions on chat, and then the side right here is me answering the questions on, like, the ones I got wrong. So I would write, okay, this is the key information that I needed for the questions I got wrong on chat. And I just kept running through it. You probably can't see it on camera, but I kept running through it. And I was making 70s on these. So chat was drilling me a little extra than what the exams were. The exams are still challenging, but I feel like because I prepared with chat, it was like, okay, I was in the mindset and I knew how to think about the questions. What else can I say about Patho? You need to learn your electrolytes. And my school gave us this. I'm a very much, screenshot so I'm going to screenshot. They gave us this electrolytes. I used, let me give you exactly who I use. Simple Nursing. ABGs. ABGs. Simple Nursing got me right. Simple Nursing got me right on my ABGs. And I do recommend listening to Simple Nursing. I did not buy the program. I just went to YouTube and I typed in it. I typed the information I needed and Simple Nursing came up. And let me tell you, the way they broke down ABGs, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. ABGs, and registered RN. But honestly, I used a lot of Simple Nursing, and then it was also another place. Dang, if I remember that, I'm gonna put it somewhere on the screen. But that also helped me because it went through all the chapters and it talked about all the concepts that I went through for the class. So that helped me. So my recommendation for Patho is make sure you show up to class, type your notes or write them out. Make sure you go to class because your teacher is going to be like talking about information that is going to be on your test. They see the test. They know what to teach you, so show up to class. And then if you're at Chamberlain, we have EDAPs. So EDAPs also like reinforce information for you too. So don't just flip through your EDAPs. Actually read. Like make time to read your EDAPs. Make time, because yes, it's a lot, but it's like a reinforcement. That's the biggest thing about Patho. You just got to keep on going over the information till you understand it, until you really just like, oh. And let me tell you, like, now I hear things and I'm like, oh, that's that. And I'm right, because I worked so hard in Patho that it definitely brought me up a notch in my nursing career, like my student nurse journey. So take Patho seriously. Study. I didn't go out. I wasn't on the phone like that. I didn't go out. I wasn't talking to my friends like that. Like, I literally was in my books because I heard about Patho, and I did not want Patho to be the reason why I didn't move on. Also, in this class, we also did a paper, and I'm not going to go too much into the paper. It was a simple paper. You just pick a disease that you, I think I was picking a disease. You picked a disease and then you wrote about it. You'll get that all in your rubric. And I will say, follow your rubric. Your rubric is your best friend when it comes to projects or papers or anything like that. Follow your rubric because they do great off the rubric. Make sure you have everything, every little key point they got on that rubric. Literally. What else can I say? For the final, I was well prepared for the final because I did so good on test 1 and test 2. So it was really just a review for me. And I didn't go as hard for my final. I got an 89 on the final, but I didn't go as hard as I did for the exam 1 and exam 2 because I felt prepared. I felt like I studied to the point where it was like, it's what else can I fit in my brain? Like, what else do I need to know? So I would say that, like, you do have to buckle down for Patho, and you know, use your resources. Get a tutor, watch the videos, talk to your teacher, like, use your research. Don't just sit back and fail. Don't just sit back and know that you're not doing good and you're not getting the concepts, because ultimately, like, that's just gonna like hold you back, and you don't want to be held back because then you're gonna graduate a couple months after the date you're supposed to graduate. You don't want that. Trust me. Just ask for help. I know some of my classmates were asking me for my notes, and I would send them my notes. I'll tell them what I did. I feel like what I did wasn't really special, but it helped me. And you just really have to find your way of learning this information, and you have to dedicate the time. I used to study 8 hours a day, sometimes, well, not even just 8. I used to study a lot more than that, but every day I was studying because it was no way I was going to fail this class. So that's about it with your quizzes. It's every time you don't have an exam, you have a quiz. Make sure you study that concept before the quiz. I don't know what teacher you have. Your teacher might tell you what concepts you need to focus on, but it's ultimately up to you to just study the concepts that they review, they go over for that the week prior, because typically we got tested on the stuff that we learned the week before. So review your information, dedicate that time, and just get it done, guys. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, you guys. I appreciate it, all the new followers I got. And yes, I was gonna post this video about 2 months ago, but I had a death in my family and it definitely affected me. So I just really kind of focused on the session I was in and just trying to get back to being in a much positive, like more positive space. I don't want to show up on camera and be like, oh, no. I'm feeling a lot better, and I appreciate everybody that has followed me. If you like this video, so hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to try to push out the next video as soon as possible, but I do have a second part to this, which just goes over health assessment, and it also goes over fundamentals. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Happy holidays.